just wanna know what you want from me. Hear what you trying to do when you call.
I don't know if he's going to be listening to this. Probably not, but
Thomas,
listen.
morning.
Send it to him. But
Thomas, how's it going, you prick? Open up your fucking door. Okay, you'll see it. the girl face. I kind of like minge, and now I like cock. It's fine.
no, this is never being public information. I mean, fucking
Say
talk with the real
Say
shit.
it right now. It's going in the intro. We're hyping it up. We're making clips of this. It's going all over the fucking internet, okay? Fucking say it now, alright?
And I realized the concept on the fence is way, for me at the time, was way bigger than I don't know what style I want to do. And I realized it was encompassing almost everything that was going on in my life. Is this good? Is this audio good, like from the mic?
Oh yeah, the audio is perfect, bro.
Okay, because if it wasn't good, I could have switched to this, because I didn't know what was gonna work.
Oh, that's fine. That's
But,
perfect.
All right, whatever.
You sound fantastic. A lot better than last week anyway. Simon had a little blue snowball. Absolutely terrible little yuck. That's like a proper XLR mic, isn't it? Proper.
Yeah, because if this didn't, I didn't know if it would work with Zoom and shit, so I was gonna have to use this. And this headset is the most scuffed thing, right? Like, it's so scuffed. The mic is like, sounds like fucking
Asshole.
R2D2. Yeah, and only one side works.
That's amazing. Yeah, well, I'm on two different
Anyway,
cameras. It's just the easy way to set it up.
That's awful.
I have my Canon camera, and then above it I have the Logitech one. So you're seeing me through the Logitech one, and then I have OBS up at the camera.
Oh, but you're...
Yeah, it's easy way to do it.
Oh,
And I've everything done then with the Stream Deck. I don't think I'll be able to show you, but I have like my face and your face on it, so I know.
Oh, Stream Deck, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's sick. Man,
Yeah.
you got the setup, man.
I mean, yeah, this took fucking ages to set up. Like, I didn't even know how we can do like the podcast. Like last week was like a proper tester. Last week I was like, okay, how to do this, how to do that, and I think the worst part about it was I recorded through OBS, right? So I record everything through OBS. So I switched to scenes. So when you're talking, I switch to your scene live instead of like doing it post editing. So hopefully it looks well. I think last week the biggest problem was when Simon was talking, it was on me, and when I was talking, it was on him. So hopefully it's okay.
I get you, yeah.
Anyway, well, come on, listen, bro. I'm fucking massive fan of your content. Literally,
Oh man, stop.
absolutely love it. Everyone who watches my streams, I have you on the background all the time because we don't want to get any DMCA's running, so we have you on the background.
Yeah, fuck that, yeah.
Yeah, so we have you on the background, bro. Everyone fucking loves your stuff.
Mad.
You're from
Yeah.
Kildare, aren't you? Like you're
Yeah,
from
man,
Kildare?
like-
You're born in Kildare?
Yeah, Kildare for life, man. Kildare Mafia, W23 represent.
Are you like in the
Holding it down.
countryside or
Yeah, I'm like not mad far out. I'm, Maynooth.
Minute? I think so.
It's like the one, yeah. It's the
I
one
think
like
so. Yeah.
has a college and all. You've probably been there once before in your life.
I've been up to
But,
the Minute College, yeah.
Near like, yeah. It's like I'm just outside Maynooth in the countryside. Yeah, so like close enough. It's like 7K away.
What's like? Yeah, so Minute's the nearest town. So you live in like a massive field, right? Or am I getting this wrong? Like you live in the
Yeah,
countryside.
Nah, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I'm basically the
Yeah,
exact same. We live in like a small little town. It's like 500 people here, bro. There's no lasses here to shag. I have to move. I'm gone from here as soon as possible. I'm gone. But yeah, I mean the first question I want to ask is how did you get into music and how long have you been doing it?
Okay, well, actually, just before I answer it, thank you for having me on.
No problem,
I've
bro.
been hyped for this the whole, like, since you told me, I was been looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Like, and then you like told me, oh, it's gonna be around this date, and I think that date come, and I like didn't hear from you, and I was like, I swear to God, I was like, no, he's like, he forgot. I was like, no, but then you hit me up, and I was like, okay, the
No.
guy he's a real man. Nah, because you don't understand. If you talk to anyone who knows me, I can talk for fucking like I this is not an exaggeration. I say I could talk properly about something for about 12 hours straight, just going. But anyway, yeah, we'll start with this. So how I got into music, like I'm actually so hyped for this. You don't understand.
First of all, that is my fault. I literally I was trying to get the camera set up. My fault. All on me. I don't care. That was my fault.
No. I knew you'd like probably you think about, but it's just that I was so obsessed with getting on the talk.
No,
I
you
was
were,
like,
you were
nah, I
always
have
coming
to
on,
do it.
mate. You were always the first, like one of the first guys to come on because I wanted to start off with you and
thanks.
Jay Moy straight away. So you were always coming on. Problem I had
Yeah.
was the camera was like I was having problems with the camera, setting it up with OBS and stuff. So that's the reason it got
Yeah,
delayed. I only got a cam link 2 days before Simon came on, so that's why everything was like pushed back a
mad.
week. But I got into everyone before we started. Like I got into everybody about the podcast like a month ago, like getting all my first 5 or 6 guests on. So they're all been pushed back a week, and I still haven't told him yet. So it'd be a nice little surprise from. So yeah, how did you get into music? Let's get back to that. How did you get into music? I'm curious.
All right, grand, yeah. Okay, so it's like a long answer and a short answer.
Give me the long one, bro. We're here for the long haul.
Grand, perfect. Okay, so I guess the first memory I have of like listening to music was in my mom and dad's car. Like I must have been about it's one of my first memories actually. It must have been about 5 or 6, I guess, is when you kind of start remembering stuff, I think.
Yeah.
And we're in this like Hyundai like person carrier that we used to have, like fucking ugly car. And we were picking up my 2 older sisters from secondary school at the time. So what year? This may be like 2006 or something, 2007 maybe.
How old are you now, Connor?
I'm 19.
19. Okay, so you're a year. Well, you're a year older than me. So you finished school last year, right?
Yeah, I clutched up. No leaving cert.
Brilliant.
Anyway, so yeah, so I must be about 5 or 6 or whatever, and we're in the car, and my dad, like, he's not like mad into music, but obviously, like everyone likes listening to music, and he would always talk about like different concerts he went to. So we were listening to Queen, and we were listening to Another One Bites the Dust, like do.
Another one bites the dust.
Yeah. So I remember that, and I can't, obviously the memory's a bit blurred because I was like 5 or 6, but I remember just being like in the car, just thinking like in my head, like, oh, that's like like dissecting the music in my head and being like, what is this thing? Like, what is music?
Amazing.
And then my dad remembered, like, turned to me, he was like, this is Queen, I seen them when I was younger. And I was like, oh, mad. So I'd say that's like very first memory. Then after that, I started breakdancing. Like really,
breakdancing, like on
like
the like on the head, like spin around the place and shit. Really?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Like all, like not. I know like every other kid. Well, back in the day, people don't do it anymore. But back in the day, every other kid like breakdanced. But they were just like they were just throwing themselves around. But when I got into breakdancing, I actually properly got into it. Like I really cared. And as I got older, I really cared about like the music and hip hop culture and where it comes from, and all the different kind of the history of hip hop and breakdancing and stuff. But I did breakdancing and b-boying. That's the proper name for it, b-boying. And I got really, really good, like just because that's all I did. Because I moved house, but in my last house, my older sister did like Irish dancing.
Yeah.
So my dad like renovated the garage like into a little dance studio area for them.
That's sick.
Because they did competitive dancing, and then when I started dancing, because you live in the country, people don't get this. If you live in an estate, you are blessed. Like you don't understand the struggle. People think, you live in the country, you might have like a nicer house or something. It's like, this is dead. It's like, no. If you live in an estate, you have like friends and like the banter to have. If you live in the country, you literally have no one. Like you are on your own. And the worst thing is, back then there's like no internet either. So what are you meant to do?
Yeah, that's amazing, bro. Literally, people don't understand. In Ireland, 10 years ago, internet wasn't even a thing. Like really, it was like you had 3G maybe on Vodafone or like Air or whatever.
Yeah,
there was no
Wi-Fi,
USB. No internet. We got internet in our town maybe like 12 years ago, maybe. Like 12 years ago. It's actually fucking mental. So like you're in the countryside, we're in like a little town. Like it's fucking mental. Like really.
I always think about that, and I'll get into that later as well, because that's kind of one of the root of me finding all the different things I'm interested in. But so because there's nothing to do, there's no friends, and we literally didn't have internet at that time, so I would just have like all my CDs of different break beats and like proper b-boying music and like very old school hip hop, like pre-90s hip hop. And I would just have like a massive big kind of boombox, and I'd be in the dance studio playing CD after CD. I swear, like all day, I'd have about 6 or 7 CDs however long a CD is, go through them all for the whole day. Like come home from primary school, whatever, do the bit of like 2+2 or whatever, and then go to the garage and just bang it out all day. So I got
Connor, what's your favorite genre of music then? Do you reckon like as a child your music genre has changed, or do you reckon it's like the same as what it was then?
I don't really have an answer because I like literally all the everyone says that. There's always that one guy who's like, no man, I listen to all music. It's like, okay, relax. Like you listen to like a little bit of hip hop and rock. Like that's not all music. When I say like I listen to all music, there's music. If I showed you, you'd literally be like, that's like, that is ear cancer. Like you can't listen to that. Like I listen to everything from like classical to like hyper pop music, if you know what that is.
No.
Like,
no clue.
Okay, well, you don't want to know. You might not want to know, but like drum and bass, dubstep, house, like all electronic music to all like the real hip hop, newer hip hop, indie rock, like I just like everything.
Who would be like your favorite rapper then? Like you say you like hip hop and rap. Who would be your favorite rapper at the moment? At the moment and kind of all time as well, yeah.
All right. So there's a few different answers, but if we're talking hip hop and then as an extension of that, just art and music,
yeah,
I'd say Kanye West.
Boom. W.
But if we're talking about pure rapping, like skill and ability, like not really about the music, just about the pure like lyrics, I'd probably say Rakim or Guru from Gangstar.
I've never listened to those guys. Are they like early 2000, like 90s kids, or
no? See,
never
that's
heard
the thing
of them.
when people say old. Well, yeah, no, that's the thing when people say old school hip hop, like now, because obviously we're so late into like since the 2000s, people think like
True.
90s. But when I say old school hip hop, because of what I grew up on as old school hip hop, b-boying is like really, really late 70s, early hip hop to mid 80s.
Jeez.
And a lot of people don't even know hip hop was a thing back then, because it was
mental.
very. So yeah, if you check out Rakim and Gangstar and stuff, like it's really, really good stuff.
That's amazing. So getting back to like how you got into music, would you say is that like how you got into music then? Did you with your dad in the car?
I'll continue the story.
Sorry,
it goes on for a bit. So what was it? Yeah, so then I was doing loads of b-boying, and then I got into hip hop. And hip hop was kind of the first genre, as I said, I kind of looked into it, like asking people where did it come from, like really interested in the history, not only just how it was made. And like there's all the different elements of hip hop, like there's turntablism, like scratching and all that, and DJing. There's graffiti is another element of hip hop, b-boying, rapping, obviously, and all that kind of stuff. So I got into all kind of that, and I really got into hip hop music. But then as I grew up, I kind of stopped breakdancing, because I was winning loads of competitions. Like I was winning like the All Ireland like b-boy competitions when I was like 12 and 13 and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I like lost one of the years, and I was like, yeah, what the fuck is this? Like I was like, what?
How old were
like,
you when you stopped doing breakdancing? How old were you then?
I'd say a safe way to say like fully stopped, probably about 12.
Yeah. Nice.
So after I stopped breakdancing, I got really into skateboarding. And if you know anything about like skate culture, a lot of it is like this, it's skate rock, and that's like also linked to it punk and stuff, and like trash metal.
Yeah.
So I got really into kind of like more punk stuff, but I never was like a punk, but I just liked the music and like skating. I looked into punk music. I was like, oh, this is cool. So then I kind of had the knowledge, like, okay, how hip hop's made, what punk is about. And then after I was into that, I just started listening to loads of electronic music. Because at the time, if you remember mid 2000s, that's when really like house and especially deep house really started to just take over everywhere, especially in Ireland.
Yeah.
And my older sisters would always listen to it, and they're kind of like the plug to everything, because they used to have the Walkman and the Zen, the creative Zen, if anyone remembers that, 3 gigs of old 2000 songs. And I literally just plug in my fake Beats headphones, and I just sit like in my room, just like going through every song. And I'd come across like Biggie Smalls or something, and I'd be like, or Dolly Parton or like something, and I'd be like, what is this music? So then I got really into house music and just electronic music. And this is where like the first kind of realization I wanted to make music like properly was, because the proper inspiration, honestly, you might laugh at this, it was Skrillex.
No way, really?
I think, yeah, people laugh about Skrillex now, and dubstep stuff, but Skrillex is honestly probably might be the best producer of all time in terms of like just making music, or definitely one of them. So I got really into Skrillex and I watched videos. Like I had to wait about 20 minutes for them to load on YouTube, but I'd sit there like for ages and I watch him and he'd be making the beats. And I was like, it was my first realization, like, whoa, that's how it's made. Because when you're younger, and not even when you're younger, even when you just grow up and you don't really care about music, or, you know, you just like it. It's crazy to me how many people don't actually have any understanding at all, like how what they're listening to is made.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same with movies and like making like cinematography and like everything that goes behind, even with the podcast here. But it's so interesting to see like when I first started seeing people who were making movies and how they set up the camera and the aperture, the focus, all that shit, that blew my mind. It's like, how does nobody know what this is? Or even if you see like something on the television, like a special effect, like an explosion, like my brain was always like, how the fuck does this happen? How does this work? That's really interesting the way you say that with music as well.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, this is how he's making it. Like it's on a what you call it, DAW, digital audio workstation, and he was using a program called Ableton, because there's two main programs that people use. It's like FL Studio, and at the time that was Windows only, and Ableton, which is on like both operating systems. So I was like, oh, you know what? Skrillex uses Ableton. Let's pirate this shit. Pirate Bay-time. Arg matey, right? So I was like, let's go. So hop on the Pirate Bay, you know, let's go. Try to get it. I swear to God, I must have spent about 3 years trying to get it, because again, like I was like maybe 11 or 12 when I first started seeing this stuff. When you're 11 or 12, like you think you know how to use a computer, but like you really actually don't. So I was trying to find out how to pirate this. And for years I was like, I'm going to start producing. I'm going to be a producer, like in my head. And then went on for like a few years, and I just downloaded. I finally got it, and I would just fuck around, and I just couldn't figure it out. Because when you look at these programs, it's similar to just video editing. Like when you look at a new program, you're like, what does this do? Like how it's so daunting. And anyone who starts producing, or if they see you producing, they're like, how do you know what all that does? You know, stuff like that. So I was only like 11 or 12, 13, trying to figure this out. And eventually I was just like, oh, you know, I do a bit here and there purely as a hobby, because I wasn't properly getting anywhere. So I was like, oh, I'll just whatever, I'll write a few songs here and there, because I knew how to play guitar just from like teaching myself. And so I was like, had a few songs. And people think like when they see you get good at something, it's like, oh man, like that's talent or something. Or you know, it's like, no. Like this, I was the shit. Like I couldn't do anything. It took me ages to figure it out, like just here and there. And then eventually when I started just doing it, I was about 15, I'd say, or 16, when I sat down. I was like, oh, I can actually kind of do it now. So let's actually start putting in hours, learning, like properly, like, how do you say, like focused learning, not just messing about, like actually focus learn, like how each thing works and all the different aspects of production, like engineering, sound design, obviously the music side of it. And then from there, I made like I made a beat tape, like lo-fi beat tape. And I started putting my voice on songs, and that was like the songs are the shittest things ever. Like, but I'd literally sing something, drown it in reverb, so it just like sounds like it's in a massive room. So then you wouldn't be able to like hear that I was like singing off key.
Were you always like embarrassed your voice, or did you always feel like you were a good singer? Like, because I feel like your voice is actually really naturally good. You can hear a lot of the Irish accent as well in it. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah. Well, that's only something I started doing recently, like just using my well, not recently, but like in the last like 2 years, I started using my own voice. But no, man, my singing voice, I've had to work on that like so hard. Like my singing voice, I can never properly sing. Like I was now, don't get me wrong. I know there's people out there who literally can't, like they can't sing, you know, like they can't actually separate the notes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
In a song. But I was never like that. But I was never, ever known as like, oh, he can sing or whatever.
Yeah.
So I really, when I started singing, like, and all the new songs, except for the ones where you could probably hear it, like there's no auto tune or no correction on them. And when I started doing that, I was like, all right, well now I have to force myself to learn, right? So, or it will sound fucking shit. Like you can't have a decent song if the singing isn't like cutting it. The song's shit. No one's listening to a song if you're not like, if you're off key. That's why people use little bits of auto tune. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna fucking, if I'm not using auto tune here, I'm going to really sit down and just do vocal warm-ups and every day. And it's just like a muscle. Like you literally feel your vocal cords like getting like they are painful after a few days of practicing.
Exactly.
But they grow strong, just like it's literally like any other muscle. But I was never the singing was shite at the start, like very shit.
There's like a missing understanding of singing. I feel like I feel like a lot of people think, okay, you're either good at singing or you're bad at singing. People don't actually understand that you can train your voice to get better. I noticed that a lot with podcasting, just doing videos. You can. It's not the same thing, obviously, because you know singing is a lot more on your like your muscle in your throat and stuff, right? But like with talking, like you know, even just with talking, you can train your voice to sound a different way. But it really annoys when people say, "Oh, I can't sing, definitely can't sing, never good at singing." It's like you can just learn how to sing. It's so
you can practice.
Yeah,
everything
exactly.
is practice. Like, wait, let me 1 sec. I'll pull this up here for you. Look, because I love reading. I read loads. Big reader. People talk about talent these days, right? Talent doesn't exist. And that's not an opinion. That's not me being like motivational, go do it. No. This is not bullshit. This is scientific. If you don't believe me, read this. It's called Bounce. It's by Matthew Side. He was like the best table tennis player in the world at one stage. And if you still don't believe me, read this. It's Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. And in these books, scientifically, through studies and studying people, they break down why people get the best at what they do. And there's no talent. If you believe in talent, tell me how it works. What is it in your DNA? Like that doesn't make any sense. That's not science, man. So if you think talent is real, it's not. There's factors behind it. And you can read these books if you don't believe me.
I understand. Agree with you. I think though genetics is a massive part to play in like if you're good at football and stuff. I mean, you can train yourself to get good at all aspects of life.
Yeah.
Football, you know, like whatever you're good at.
Yeah.
But yeah, that really pisses me off when people say, "Oh, I have no talent. I'm not good at anything." You have to work to get better at what you want to get better at. It's just it's all about interest and how you manifest that interest. I feel like it's a different energy. I don't know how to explain it really. Maybe I should read your book. I don't know. Maybe I should read those books.
Oh man, they're good.
So getting on to, I want to just talk about your new EP because you released a new EP. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? What was the inspiration?
About 2 weeks.
Yeah, sorry. What was the inspiration behind what was it called? On the Fence. Sorry, I was about to say Fences on the Gate. I was like, that makes fucking no sense. On the Fence. First of all, where did the name come from? Obviously, you're sitting on the fence in the fucking picture, but where did that come from? What was the inspiration behind that?
Okay, so in late 2019, I was going away because my older sisters, like they live in Australia, and we go visit them and all because like, you know, visit family or whatnot. And I hadn't released anything about maybe about to be 2 years at that stage. And I was around everyone around me because obviously I'm coming up to my leaving cert and I was doing nothing. So obviously everyone around me is like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm doing music. You know, I'm focused." They were like, "Why aren't you releasing on?" And I was like, "Oh well, yeah, that's fair enough." Yeah.
Connor,
you know what?
Listen, bro, we are so similar in so many aspects of what you just said there. You said a few minutes ago about how you like you kind of. I always say this, I train myself out to like video edit and out to like set cameras and stuff. You're exact same with music. You did fuck on the leaving start. I did fuck on the leaving start. We're there. I'm there with you, bro. I'm on the same track.
Exactly.
Can I just ask you about Australia because you went? I saw a video.
Oh, yeah.
You did a video where you went over to Australia. Was it to work on music and write a song? Am I getting that right?
No, I was visiting family, but because I was meant to study when I was over there, and I brought books and all, weighed down my suitcase with books that I didn't open, and so obviously you have loads of time. So I was sitting like in the video. Yeah, I'm sitting in this room that we were in, and I wrote like most of the songs are already rough, but I finished writing them and like you know you do different drafts and finishing all the arranging and thinking of the concept. And now that will tie into where the idea came from as well. So yeah, I was visiting family, but obviously you have so much time on your hands when you're away, so and not in school, which was great. So I just wrote loads of songs when I was over there.
What does your family think of you making music and making it like a full-time profession? What do they think of it?
They don't like. I don't know. Like they don't really care, but they're like for it if it's going well. But if it's like, it's, you know, it just depends. Like they never said like don't do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
because you could always you can always have a chance at doing something. But it's more so like, all right, if it's going good, that's good. If it's going bad, you gotta either fix that or start thinking of something else.
Yeah, my mom and dad are the exact same with like me pursuing YouTube and podcasting and stuff. They're like, as long as you're having fun and it's something that you want to do, they're all supportive. But they don't really care. They don't really like ask me how it's going and stuff like that. It's kind of just like I do my own thing, they do their own thing. I don't know if that's the same with you, but that's like how my relationship is with them.
Yeah, that's it. That's it for me, and that's the way I like it with anyone, to be honest. Like, unless I get time to sit down and properly like this, like you're asking me questions that I get to explain properly. I don't want, like, I don't know if this sounds bad, but I'm not really interested in talking to people like if I have to answer with one sentence on what I'm doing.
Exactly.
90% of the time, no one likes what they don't understand. So if I don't get time to explain to that person so they understand, they're not gonna get it, and they're not gonna say anything, or they're gonna criticize it. And it's like, I don't mind if people criticize it. Like, if something is shit, I want to know if it's shit. But if you don't get it, like, don't criticize it yet.
It's like like when people go on to talk shows, like the Late Late Show. Actually, I think that the Late Late Show is a bad example because they do kind of talk a lot on that. But like the American shows, particularly like Jimmy Kimmel and Fallon and all these guys, you come on for
wasters.
Exactly, you come on for fucking 5 minutes. Oh, and after the break, we'll get back to Ricky Gervais. It's like, oh my god, it's so bad to watch. You would be great in the Late Late Show. I feel like you would be fantastic. Like going on performing. Nah, come on, bro. If you go on,
Ryan Tuberty could catch some smoke from me. I'm not gonna lie.
Amazing.
I won't lie.
So we were talking about Australia. Let's just get back to the point.
Man, wait. I'll say one thing. Ryan Tuberty, are you Garda vetted? It's just a question. I'm not insinuating anything. I'm asking him. That's it. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Getting back to Australia. How old are your sisters like compared to you? Are they like a few years older than you?
Oh no, yeah. Well, yeah, they're like 20 something and all.
My sister is 32, I think. So there's a big gap. I have only one sibling, my sister, and she's like 32 or something. She's having her second child in June. Great time.
That's mad similar.
Great time. Yeah. So when did they move over to Australia, and how often do you visit them?
They moved like a few years ago when they finished college. And we try to visit them like every year because Christmas, we go around Christmas because it's like Christmas here is like, I don't know, I think Christmas is overrated. So like we leave Ireland because it's shit weather and all, and we just go over there because it's sunny and we get to go to the beach and all on Christmas.
That's the life. What part of Australia is your sisters living in?
Well, it changes for work and that, but like we go to like Western Australia.
Yeah,
Perth.
I'd love to go to Australia just to visit. What was it like visiting Australia? Is the culture like different? Like, what was it like?
It's cool. Like, travel is always cool, but you did go there once and you go there again and you go there again and you're like, okay, well, it's pretty much all the same. Like, nowhere is special. We're all like people at the end of the day. Like, nothing. It's like, oh wow, they have like a funny accent. Like, it gets old pretty quick.
Okay. Going back to the EP, because I want to talk about this for at least like 15 minutes because I'm really interested in this. Like,
yeah, break it down for you. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you like? So when I wasn't disappointed, but when I looked on the album and I didn't see Han Solo, I was raging because I fucking love that song. Why isn't Han Solo on the playlist? I'm pissed off. You need to explain this.
Grand, yeah. Okay, so Han Solo is actually on a different album, man. It's on the one I made when I was 17. Because I made that song. That was actually one of the proper first songs I made. That was decent. Yeah. So that song's mad. Oh, that's on Dynamic, which was like me literally just testing out music. Like that wasn't that's album where Han Solo comes from isn't even meant to be on Spotify. I had it up on SoundCloud and I got my friends to listen to it because I made 20 songs, all kind of different. I was like, just to see what I like to make, which direction, and see if I'm decent. And then I showed it to my mates and they were like, man, like I'd listen to that, put it on Spotify. And I was like, how do you do that? And they were like, I don't know. I was like, all right, I'll figure it out. So I did it, put it up on Spotify for them. It obviously had like no plays for maybe, 3 years at this stage, I guess. 2018. So nearly 3 years. no plays. I was like, that was a waste of time. For ages, I was like, I'd rather it not be on Spotify because I wanted to start fresh. But obviously, I started just promoting it more, and then people were like, "Oh, this is good," and I was like, "Oh yeah, you know what? It's not that bad." So that's why it's not on. It's old. It's mad old. So
What's your favorite song you've written on the album? So sorry, if you were to suggest one song that someone should go and listen to, obviously they should go watch or listen to the entire album. But what's one song that you think really stands out from the rest, or do you have any?
yeah, the intro is the best.
It's like 16 minutes long, I think, isn't it?
16 minutes long.
Jesus. I mean, if you're watching a podcast for fucking 2 hours, you must, go listen to the intro.
It's 5 songs in one, basically, but it's like a whole. It's kind of. I got a lot of inspiration. If you listen to a lot of classical music, like the pieces in classical, and then like the different types of classical music, there's like program music, and that type of music it's called program music because when people went to go see it, like went to see the orchestra back in the day, they'd get like a program, like a leaflet, and it would explain the storyline of what they're hearing, and that stuff would go on for like 2 hours with like an interlude in the middle for people to go, relax. So I got inspiration like a lot from classical music, where the pieces are really long. Yeah. And there's all different sections. So that's kind of like, it's like 5 songs in one, but it's 16 minutes long.
So the intro is your little baby, your little masterpiece. I like the way you released them as well. I think you released Bad Side and then Fail Friends separately, right? Yeah. And then you put them into the album. And in the album you have Blonde Hair, Green Eyes, and that released with the album, right? Am I getting that right?
No, they all of them except the intro released as singles.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I'm terrible at my job.
Well, no, I'm kind of bad at my job because I really should be given more in the project, but it's not an artistic decision. It's more of a strategic, like marketing decision because it builds up momentum in the Spotify algorithm and it's easier to promote. Because if people don't really listen to albums anymore, which is kind of sad.
I'd agree.
Like it will come full circle because everything works in cycles. Like it will get to the point where we shift from short songs, like a lot of singles that we have now, like songs like 1 minute 30 seconds long and stuff, especially with TikTok. It will all flip. Like the more something like sways that way, people are like, oh wait a minute, this is getting old, let's have really long albums and stuff. So it will flip eventually. But yeah, it's better off. I don't know why I'm saying this like like your audience is like artists, but
I know it's fine, bro.
I guess it's applicable to like a lot of different things, but it's better off to release lots of different singles, because it gives that consistency and it keeps people moving on. If you release like a whole album, no one cares because they don't know you yet.
Yeah, so that's like I feel like from a creative standpoint, releasing like a video a week, it does better in the algorithm on YouTube. Is that similar with Spotify? Like you leave a song longer, it gets more views and more plays and stuff?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. It's compounds. So it's like, if you know, like compound interest works and stuff like that with money.
I was shit at maths. It's similar. Terrible.
Yeah, I can't do maths, but basically it's like if you get 2 plays on the first song that you release, right? But then the next one you get 4. But then the next one you get 8, and the next one you get 60. It keeps doubling. Not only will that double for every other song, and eventually you'll be having loads if you just keep going, a certain percentage of all the amount of new people will actually trickle down to all the other songs. Because when people listen to the newest one, they'll be like, oh, what's this one? And they're like, oh, wait, what's the one before that? And if do you know Russ?
Rust?
He's like a rapper singer. He's pretty big.
I don't. No clue.
Okay, well, he kind of invented this strategy and he released, right? This is crazy. If you want to, this is a great story about like consistency and persistence. He did music for probably in total about 10 years now, but he released, was it 8? Yeah, no, he released 11 albums, right? 11 albums. And he was doing music for about 8 years and nothing was working. Like he had a few thousand kind of fans, but he wasn't hitting it big time. 11 albums. This guy grinded. And then he had an idea. He was like, wait a minute. What if I just release a single every single week and see what happens? So he released 1 single every week for 1 year straight. And he went from like he had like 6,000. He shows all this. He in his kind of bank account from the streams, he goes from $6,000 in his bank account at the first kind of month of him releasing one a week to 100,000 in the last month.
Jeez.
So people seen this and they were like, wait a minute, is this the strategy? Like one single a week, or, at least like one single, like on a persistent basis, instead of trying to, a single album or whatever, or trying to push one single for ages, like some people do. He just grinded, and that's kind of the strategy I take a lot of influence from. It's just like, keep it persistent.
I was going to ask it at the end of the podcast. I feel it's a good time to say it now. Who's like your main inspiration for doing music and for the grind that you're on? I feel like you're actually, can I just say this? I feel like you're the most motivated person that I've talked to on the internet in fucking ages. Man,
let's go.
you ran a fucking marathon? Like, you ran a marathon at 8 with 19. We'll get into that in a bit, but your inspiration, like, who's your main inspiration for doing music?
Okay, there's a lot of answers.
Give me all of them.
The macro answer is like, as I said, I'll get into the kind of the root inspiration, I'd say. Skrillex. That actually sounds mad, because it's like, he just inspired me to make music. Ed Sheeran, right? Old Ed Sheeran, though. Back in the day, if you remember old school Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran is probably one of my favorite artists of all time.
Man. So we talk about that in a minute, but I say, all right, after that. So my favorite artist of all time is Kanye West.
Boom.
My favorite band of all time is Fleetwood Mac.
Okay.
And another favorite band of all time, probably after Fleetwood Mac, be Oasis. And then I'm just gonna name loads now. So Kate Bush, Gangstar, Rakim.
The Script, maybe? Like The Script at all?
No, I never really got into The Script.
They were like my first band that I fucking absolutely loved. Like, if
classic Irish band, OG.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd say The Smiths, Van Morrison, Michael Jackson, and then as an extension of that, Quincy Jones, who produced pretty much all the Jackson records. Who else? Oh man, there's so many. I could go on for ages. Like, I have about like 5 people in maybe every single genre.
Yeah.
You get me? So I'd literally be here just going, I've done it before on live. Someone saying, name all your inspirations. And I think they lasted about 4 minutes. I was like, like, so, but there's like kind of a good palette if you want to know.
Yeah. Do you want to explain, how do I say this? Do you want to explain like the background to your EP and the background to the songs you put on it, and why you put those songs on the EP?
100%. So On the Fence, the idea before it was called On the Fence started off, as I said, like late 2019. Everyone was like, man, you say you're doing music, but you're not releasing any. So I said, okay, well then I'm going to release something, and I'm going to make music that will get me numbers. So it started off as much more of a strategic decision and a strategic kind of plan rather than an artistic one. Which is a good and a bad thing. Obviously, there's like positives and negatives. So I said, okay, I'm going to make 5 or 6 singles, right? They're going to be very poppy, very derivative, like of kind of other people or other styles. There's going to be kind of very catchy, very marketable and very easy to listen to. So it's not going to be anything crazy like I'm breaking boundaries. I'm the expression of the songs, like what's in them and the lyrics is real. What I'm talking about is real. And I could break it down, but I'd have to go mad. But, stuff like that. But the stuff I'm talking about is real. But the expression of it, like how the songs are made, is a lot less real. It's more like, okay, I want to make this, get into Spotify playlists. I want this to be easy for people to listen to share, to get numbers on Spotify. So that's where the kind of the business marketing decision comes in. So it's this kind of balance. I was trying to make the balance, but it eventually kind of toppled over, and that's what got me to the real concept of the project. So I was like, I have these 5 singles, and I was working on them, and I was like, this project is going to be so literal. Like, literally, there's no artistic concept behind it. It's going to be, here's a bunch of songs, like music for the sake of music. Here's a bunch of songs, and it was so literal. The original name for it was Some Songs I Made. Yeah. Like, wow, very meta, bro. Very cool. So I was like doing that, and that was the idea for ages. I did that for about 2 months. I was like, okay, it's going to be called that. And then one day it hit me. I was like, I'll change the name. And I was like, I don't like that other name. I'll save it for later. And I was like, On the Fence, because all the songs are different styles. So it's like I'm on the fence about what style. And at the time, I was like, that's a sick concept. And then I kept working on it. And the more I worked on it, I was like, on the fence, like the concept is like at its root is about duality and indecisiveness. And I realized the concept on the fence is way, for me at the time, was way bigger than I don't know what style I want to do. And I realized it was encompassing almost everything that was going on in my life, in music and outside of music. And if you know me, like people who know me, I'm very indecisive, because I just love everything. Like I want to do everything. So I realized it was like me moving houses. It's like an in-between. Me like not knowing if I want to go to college straight away. That's like an in-between. And then my family are trying to move to Australia. Obviously it's all mad now with COVID and like we're trying to figure it out. But I never wanted to move. So, well, not that I never wanted to, but I made a decision like I'm staying here. So it's like that's in between places. I don't know. So I realized the on the fence concept was like way bigger than I don't know what style I want to do, because the original concept was very literal and then it became very artistic and conceptual. And the themes in the songs became like much bigger than what they originally were. And then I kind of started feeling guilty and I felt bad because I was like, oh man, this concept is a lot deeper. And I have these 5 like pop songs that no one is going to understand the concept if I just release them. So then that was near the end of 2020, or well, not near the end, near like middle of summer, before I kind of started releasing them. And I said, no, I need to give the people something that will kind of make up for the pop songs when the project is out, you know, kind of, because right now it's like to art, I guess art to like marketing decision is like art is way in debt. Like like there's no art in this at the minute. Well, there's like a little bit because the songs were real. So I just said, how am I going to balance this out? How do you balance that out? Well, I'm going to give the people something so raw and real and so deep in artistic expression from myself, which would be 16-minute long song, 5 minutes of me just saying everything that was on my mind at the time and everything I was kind of indecisive about. And it's really about that duality, because it also encompasses the music I make, because I want to make, say, like pop music, but I also want to make like very real, raw, conscious movies that will never ever get on the radio. I want to make like very kind of sad and moany music about like girls and all.
Yeah.
But I also don't like that type of music either. You know, I also want to make very confident and positive music, you know, and music that can empower people. And then this kind of goes on and on and on. You know, I want to make this type of music, but I also want to make this. I want to do this. I want to do this. So it's like duality is almost like yin and yang. So the intro is like 5 songs in one. And then the rest of the singles are 5 singles. Did you get me? It's like 5 very real songs.
I think for people who just listen to the album, say after, or sorry, the EP, I should call it the EP. The people who listen to it after they watch this podcast, I'm sure a lot of people will. That's going to really help, because I didn't know that. I didn't know what on defense meant. I didn't know what it meant, what it symbolized, what the metaphor was. That's really interesting. And actually, I feel like it relates to a lot of people, especially me, because I didn't, you know, I would like the Leaving Cert during COVID. I didn't get to do my Leaving Cert. I got predict the grades and stuff. So that is actually unbelievable. That's just like dawned on me. It's that relates to me so much. It's mental. What was I gonna say? So yeah, when people listen to the album after this, they will notice the different style. Because when I was listening to your music, when I first started talking to you, when I first started finding out about your music and stuff, I listened to all your music straight away. Like all that night, I listened to every single one of your songs, all of it. I was like, the amount of different songs and the amount of different the way you like write lyrics and stuff, they're all different styles. That really does clear it up for me, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, that's amazing, bro. Honestly.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, bro. Blonde hair, green eyes. For me, right now, is my favorite. I love it. What is that about? Can you give me like an in-depth onto that song, please?
Oh, this is never been public information.
Get it out of it, bro. For the podcast.
Man, I can't say all because, you know, I don't want to.
Don't mention names.
Expose people.
Don't mention names. We don't mention names.
But
tell me. I want to know it all.
I don't want to. I will explain it, but I'll tell you something. Like I can go in depth with it privately in a minute if you really, because anyway, I'll give it the best I can. So basically, when I was younger, when I'm talking like younger, I mean like 15, 16. You know, when you're just in the girl phase.
Yeah.
Girl phase.
You start to figure out what pussies are.
The girls anymore.
The girl phase. I kind of like minge, and now I like cock. It's fine.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean, you get what I mean. I don't know why I just exposed myself for no reason. So,
get the camera.
What was I saying? So yeah, when I was in the girl phase, obviously, I guess like I've always been like I get like I don't know how to say this without sounding like
socially awkward. We'll say.
No, you picked me up wrong. Opposite. No. It's hard to describe. So I was never socially awkward. I was actually like, I'm more awkward now, I'd say, than actually no, because I've fixed it now. But I was more awkward in the in-between phase between then and now, if you get me. But
yeah,
I can get into that in a minute. But so yeah, when I was in the kind of I'll just call it the girl phase, you know, like teenage discos and all that kind of yoke. No, that's what it was. I always expressed myself, but I got into like a thing where I was like, I just want to look cool. Like, I just want to look good. Like, not even for girls. Like, I just thought I was looking good, like at the time. And obviously I did the right thing because I looked probably better then than I do now. Because I was just wearing like the right shit, and that's when I properly got into working out and stuff. And
I don't feel like sorry, just to cut you off. I don't feel like you're very materialistic. I don't think you care about materialistic stuff as much. I feel like you're up here a lot more.
Yeah.
So what was that phase like in your life, going through that as like? So it's all about materialistic stuff now. What people think about perception.
It was not really that. It was more so just like. So for my whole life, I never tried to fit in. I actually did the opposite. I tried like to fit out, I guess you could say.
True.
Yeah. But people think like when you do that, it's like, oh, you know, he's weird and like you're as if you're not conscious of it. But when I fit out, or like whatever you call it, I was always conscious of it. So when people called me out, they're like, man, you're weird. I was like, yeah, I know, I'm doing it on purpose, you idiot. Like,
style.
I don't care. Like, they're not going to hurt me if you insult it. I actually thought a lot of stuff was funny, but it came to a stage where that just got old, but it wasn't like peer pressure or anything. It's not that I really thought, oh, I want to change. I just thought, oh, let's just try be like cool, like for a while. So anyway, that's kind of just background information, but I was basically, you know, I had the skin fade. I was the man, right? So, whatever. So, so I was getting involved in girls and stuff, and there was like a few girls before that, I don't know. I don't know how to describe, but all I say is a wise man once said, all girls are the same. So I had a few girls' experiences that were quite, let's say the ROI, I was net negative on them. So I was like, okay, I'm a bit different now. I thought I was like kind of geared up for this stuff. And then I was talking to this girl, and this girl was basically like the girl. Man, you've got me fucking talking with the real shit.
Say it right now. It's going in the intro. We're hyping it up. We're making clips of this. It's going all over the fucking internet, okay? Fucking say it now, all right? Say it now.
Just the girl, like, in like, you know, either it might be in the town or like in the whole school. It's just like I want to try to describe this.
Everybody wants to shag her.
Yeah, like face is symmetrical.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying? Physiognomy on point.
Physiognomy.
Yeah.
What's the physiognomy?
Oh man, we talk for ages. Anyway, so I'll try. I'll get to the point. So I talked to her basically in simple terms. I thought this shit was real when we were talking for ages. Yeah. And I was like, okay, this is deadly. I'm the man. And everyone, even the people around me, were like, damn, man, how did you do that? And I was kind of like, fam, I don't fucking know. Like, I'm just sick, obviously. So, like, I was on top of the world, man. And I was like, this is it, man. Like, home and dry. And then it got to the point we were basically at a gathering. And,
orgy.
No. None of that. Man, I can't do that kind of stuff. But anyway, so then I was like, I asked her, do you want to kiss on the lips?
There's no way. Wait, did you actually ask her? Oh, I'm going to kiss you now. Is that okay?
No. Well, kind of, but I didn't say it like that. But, I've always been very nice.
Nice and polite.
Woman respecter, right? Right. So I basically kept asking her and shit, and she was like, "Oh no, I'm just like not about it tonight." You get me? And I'm nice. I was like, "Oh, that's fair enough." And like, yeah, the background is we've been talking for like months now, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, "This is like sealing the deal." And then she was like, "Yeah, I just not about it tonight. I think like drama or something was happening, some shit like that." So or maybe it was like I don't want to like I'm not accusing anyone. I'm over this, right? I've wrote like 50 songs. I've gotten it out. So then what happened was she just went and kissed someone else, and like in front of me. So that's when I started listening to Future.
I love Future. Future's fucking amazing. She kissed someone else in front of you. What a bitch. What a bitch.
Pretty much. No negativity.
No
man.
negativity.
I don't blame
negative,
anyone for
but
this.
What a bitch. What a bitch. What a bitch. I'm serious.
At the time, obviously that would be your thoughts. So I was kind of like, this is basically like the 4th time that happened to me, but the other 3 times were not as severe. Obviously, it's just like, oh, I got led on, and then it was all bullshit. But this was like almost the physical manifestation of my understanding of female psychology. So, I was looking at this, and I was like, all right, yeah, that's something else. That's deadly. So, after that, that's kind of the point of no return when it comes to like me, understanding like girls and stuff. But again, like there's no negativity here. I'm kind of speaking more from my past perspective because it makes it easier for me to explain. But like now, that person, I'm like with girls and stuff like this. I was a lot younger. Like there's a lot of lads that go through similar stuff. You get over, you understand where you made mistakes. Like you can't blame other young people from doing stuff like that. Like you're all like fucking 15, like hyped up on hormones. Like, you know what I mean? So, but anyway, the point is that's what that song is about, because that person now is obviously, very in a happy relationship. So that's very positive. But that song's kind of about a newer perspective, me going back and forth, because it's kind of like I always had these thoughts like, oh, I really like her, but like she did this. So like, where am I?
Yeah.
In my opinion of this person. And that's same with what Bad Side is about. And pretty much like nearly all my songs that involve the girls or the girl. So that's like the best thing that's the best way I could describe it without. Oh yeah, and by the way, right? Fate Loves Irony. That happened on Valentine's Day.
Damn.
So every Valentine's Day that comes around, I'm like, oh yeah, that happened on this day, like X years ago.
Jeez.
Great stuff. But,
that's crazy. Can I have one question?
But now
I have one question.
Sorry,
Does she have blonde hair and green eyes? That is the big question.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's amazing. Because okay, what I was trying to mean there is like a lot of people like they write a song about somebody and then they don't put like they can say, oh, she's
make it too vague.
Yeah, like she might have blue eyes, but just because it rhymed. That's really interesting. That is personally that's one of my favorite songs on the album.
That's mad.
I love Fatal Friends as well though, and Bad Side. I fucking love them all. I love them all. Clouds is the only one. I'll give you a little bit of criticism. Clouds is the only one I don't personally love.
That's mad. Okay.
Yeah, would that be one of your favorites then?
That is probably out of the singles. Yeah, that's my favorite.
That's amazing. Well, I mean, that's kind of biased as well because obviously, Fatal Friends and Bad Side I've been listening to since I first started like listening to your stuff. Like they were just the main songs. I think they released around the same time that I first started listening, like around the start of the year, was it? Yeah. So I'm fucking biased. I just love those songs.
Well, it's more so about what like the mood and like what you're thinking at the time, because I want to have music for every mood and every occasion. So like when I'm in like thinking of girls and stuff, which rarely happens now.
He's gone gay, boys. We've lost him. He's gone gay.
Because I'm grinding. And I'm listening to Future. Obviously, I'm into Clouds because like that's my mindset at the minute. But obviously, if I'm in like Moni mode, I'm on to like listen to that kind of stuff. So it always just changes.
What's your favorite Future song? If you don't mind me asking.
Oh, what a great question. Oh, that's a hard one.
I feel like Future and Drake are like the godfathers of the current generation of rap and hip hop.
No, well, yeah, they definitely play a part, but I can get into the founding fathers of like modern hip hop. Is like it goes back to it goes back to Lil Wayne, Kanye West, Young Lean, Chief Keef, Young Thug, Space Ghost Perp, Bones, and Kanye West. I don't know if did I say Kanye West?
Yeah, you did. You said it twice. It's okay
Oh, no.
though. It's fine.
Sorry, I have to add him twice.
I love Young Thug. I only started listening to Young Thug recently because he did obviously the song with Juice WRLD. I only started listening to him recently. He's unreal. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Young Thug song do you recommend? Because I haven't listened to a lot of his old stuff really.
Probably Wyclef Jean, I'd say.
Damn. Okay. Good shout.
I don't know. That's a pretty big one, but I just like it. My favorite. I was pulling up my playlists here. I'd say my favorite Future song would be, where is it here?
Do you like Juice WRLD actually?
I did at the start. I don't really like him anymore though. Not that I don't like him. I don't really listen to him is all.
So Juice WRLD is my favorite, like of all time. He's just the guy that I relate to a lot. The lyrics
Yeah.
I listen to the lyrics a lot more than the actual beat in the song. I love the lyrics, like Juice WRLD, he says. I'm just way more deeper than the actual like. The song sounds good, you know, like a lot of people. The song sounds good. We listen to it at the parties. That's fine. I listen to the lyrics a lot more, and I think that's why I like your songs as well. Bad Side, Fatal Friends, fucking love them. I just keep coming back to that. I fucking love them. Can we move on a little bit? I want to talk about YouTube because obviously that's my expertise. How did you get into YouTube, and how did you like I said this to Simon last week. How did you like transition your content into YouTube? I suppose.
Wait 1 sec. I'm looking at. Wait, I need to. This. That helps, right?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay, Gran. Yeah, I was looking at the thing. It was getting fucking dark. But
I have you on both monitors, by the way. I can look over here and here. Sorry if I'm not like looking at you. I have you on both monitors.
So YouTube, it's kind of it's like similar to anything. Basically, my philosophy when I want to get into something is kind of like, how cool is this thing? So I'll see some, and I'll be like, wow, that is very cool. I want to be cool, so let me do that. So it's like when you're younger, you know, when you see like something sick and you're like, I'm gonna do that like tomorrow, and then you don't do it like ever.
Yeah.
I actually just, well, I don't do it like tomorrow, but I'll keep it in my head. Like I'll say to my friends like years ago, oh man, we're gonna go do this, and like they'll be like, oh yeah, sure. And then a few years later, I'll be like, let's go do it, and then we will do it. So similar with YouTube, I just watched YouTubers when I was younger.
Yeah. Our generation was like the first, I feel like, to like listen, because it was like 2010, wasn't it? Like 2009, 10, 11, like that kind of era. That's when I first started watching YouTube anyway. I fucking loved it, bro. I couldn't get off that shit. I always knew from the start is exactly what I wanted to fucking do.
Yeah, so I was watching bit everything, but I'd watch like airsoft video, like gun videos.
Same.
And
Same.
I watch you know what's classic YouTube? Lego stop motion.
Oh my god, you've hit it on the fucking head. You've hit it on the head. Bro, you got the little fucking Lego figures, right?
And they're like going about. Yeah.
I have them here. I fucking have them here.
Everyone subscribe to Jake right now. He's away. He can't hear what I'm saying. Subscribe to him. Click that subscribe button, or the whole podcast ends right now.
What the fuck just happened? Your shit just lagged as like fuck. You were like up to the camera like that. That was hilarious. Bro, nobody knows this about my channel. My very first video, I have it deleted obviously. My very first video was stop motion with these fucking Lego.
Oh, you've got loads. Damn.
Loads of them, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking loads of them. I love the Star Wars Legos, man. I used to like that was like my whole childhood, I feel like.
Yeah, so like I want to talk about old school YouTube. Me and my friends always talk about this. It was Lego stop motion. It was custom Nerf guns, like painted Nerf guns. It was Nerf Wars. Like I don't know if you remember like CA Cox 97.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Even Nerf Wars. Yeah, and it was console predictions. Remember what the Xbox 1080 will look like. and it has like 50 different buttons on the controller. And then the song is it's called Trance 009 Soundscape.
Oh my god, I remember that shit. I remember that shit.
And it's the sticky notes, and it's like, hello, welcome to my tutorial. And they're like telling you how to get free unlimited coins on Club Penguin and shit, or how to get the rainbow puffle. The rainbow puffle.
I fucking love Star. Oh yeah, Club Penguin and Moshi Monsters, bro. Holy fuck, that's a whole different generation of shit. That I feel I love Star Wars. So like they get the fucking like the lightsabers, like like the fucking oh my god, they do like little lightsaber fights and shit. The very first thing that I remember watching on YouTube was Justin Bieber eats shit. I don't know if you ever watched that video. Justin Bieber eats poo. It was this black fella, and he spray paints his face white, and his little white. Oh my god, it's unreal. It's like 10 years old.
I have a wait. Tell me if you remember this. It was called, I think, Brad Doesn't Like Aliens.
That's fucking weird, bro. What are you talking about aliens for? Ooh, conspiracies.
No, it's called something doesn't like aliens. Josh doesn't like aliens. Yeah, no. If you don't know the name of it, then you probably won't ever watched it. But it's an old video, and it was just like this lad, and he's like going around a house, and it's like he turns into a room, and there's just an alien like standing there, and he runs out, and it's obviously a big skit, and they start beating the shit out of the alien outside. But I don't know why I'm talking about this. I probably don't know.
They were the good days in YouTube. Like now,
yeah.
I feel like 2009 up until 2015, they were like the golden years for doing YouTube. It wasn't about the algorithm. It wasn't about like clickbaiting shit. It was just like straight content. My favorite person to watch my favorite person to watch was Jacksepticeye. He would just upload any shit on any game. It would get loads of views, and it wasn't like algorithm stuff. And it's really sad to see that his content change compared to what it used to be like. And it's not because it's bad. It's not bad content, but he just has to keep up with the algorithm. And it's really fucking annoying.
It was like it was Smosh were amazing.
Yeah. Yogscast, Smosh, all those guys.
Yogscast. Oh. And who else was it? Freddie W. I don't know if you remember Freddie W.
No, I don't.
He was like the OG special effects guy on YouTube. But who else was it? What's his name? And then KSI starts become the big, probably one of the biggest, maybe the most influential YouTuber.
Yeah,
maybe.
It's mad. Simon was on the podcast last week talking about like he's one of his main inspirations for doing YouTube was KSI, and he got his name JMY from KSI. It's fucking mad.
And then the whole Sideman, man, I love the Sideman so much. And people give me shit for that. They're like, "Mom, why do you watch the Sideman?" I'm like, if you don't understand the side, you don't understand them then, because you don't get it. People don't get it. They think the Sideman is like this, like these other YouTube groups manufactured. It's like, no, these guys like came up. Oh, rip. Rip.
The camera fucking dies. I have to keep like pressing the fucking button. So annoying.
Yeah. Like they came up straight from making GTA. The old Sidemen GTA videos.
They were so funny,
I grew
bro.
up on them.
They were so funny.
I grew up on Yogscast. Man, yeah, it's actually funny you mentioned all that, because the original question, like how I got into YouTube, was really watching like Yogscast, and it was kind of gaming. Gaming was like my main thing, and I was like I used to be. I guess I can't. Well, I don't really play a lot of games anymore, but I used to be like proper. I'm a gamer. Like I am a gamer gang.
What's your favorite game of all time on any console?
Well, probably I'd say Minecraft. I'd say that's probably the best game of all time.
Xbox 360 days, Minecraft.
No, I was OG. I was like beta on Java
on PC. Damn.
Yeah, I was OG, and it barely even ran. And then and you know what? I don't know if you remember this. Wait, because I'm a year older than you.
Yeah.
So you might have just missed this, but I'd say you'd remember when Minecraft was first getting heard about. It was only PC. It wasn't on console yet. Early days, everyone, when it started getting popular, was like, "That's shit, man. Like the graphics are shit. Why would you play a block game?" And I was one of the OG people, and it was kind of like if you knew about Minecraft, you played it. It's like you were autistic or something.
100%.
Like back in the day.
Yeah.
And then I was in primary school. This is like primary school memories. And I'd be like, "Man, Minecraft's sick. Like you should try get it on your computer." They'd be like, "Man, I'm not getting like a computer game. Like that's shit. It's not even graphics are shit. It's like blocks. Like man, that's for weirdos. And I was like, oh, it's a good game. And then it came out on console.
Boom.
And everyone loved it. Everyone was playing Minecraft all the time. Hop on my server, do PvP, do manhunt on Minecraft. And I was sitting here like, man, I told you about this. Like, I was OG on Minecraft, and then everyone hopped on it. And still to this day, the console version can't match to Java because of all the custom game modes.
Yeah, exactly. So I started my channel doing Minecraft. My shit was Minecraft for fucking 2 years. I think I started in 2015 on Minecraft. For like 4 years. I still do a little bit of Minecraft on stream. But I first started into Minecraft, I think it was actually when it got onto console. I actually don't think I was OG. I don't think I played it on Java or anything because I didn't have a PC or whatever. I always just had a console. My friend Sean he had an Xbox 360. I remember my first fucking day, right, playing that game. I was like, okay, this is where my life's going for the next 6 years. Yeah, this
is it. Man, in primary school, me and my friends on a PvP server manhunt. It was like hunting Optic, like we were copying hunting Optic from Syndicate, like 2v2 and you just hunt each other. We stayed up till like, I'm not even joking, it was like 4 or 5 a.m. like in primary school. And I remember one night my dad catching me and he was like, what are you doing up at this time? And I was like, Dad, it's Minecraft. Like if we aren't on the server, they're gonna get us. That's how obsessed I got with Minecraft. And yeah, that was my original thing with YouTube. I was like, oh, gamers and a bit of like, random like FPS Russia and shit. Yeah. And I was like, this is cool. I want to make videos. And it wasn't until way later that I actually started making videos.
Were you always on a PC? Because I know you do some like your songs and stuff and producing on Mac, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, I have a Mac. I have a MacBook Air like a MacBook Pro like 2015, that I got just for travel. So I use the Mac like, if I'm in my bed or something. But I produce a bit on the Mac. I do a bit of both. Like it's the same software. So
me personally, I find it easier to edit. I do all my editing on an iMac that I got like fucking 5 years ago. It still does the job. It's fine. But I do all my editing on that. So after I finish the podcast, everything goes from the PC, which I spent like fucking $2,000 on. It says disgrace. Move everything over to Final Cut Pro because I just find it so much better and easier to use. So you do vlogs, right? If you guys haven't checked out Conor's channel, the link in the description.
Yeah.
Go drop myself. You're actually on my channel as like featured channels underneath. I don't know.
I've got to add you then.
But yeah, how did you start vlogging? Because obviously I did this myself for a little bit. I was watching a lot of Casey Neistat. I feel like what I watch on YouTube is what I produce, right? So I started off doing YouTube for doing like Minecraft and gaming and all that shit. Then I transitioned for like a year or two into like vlogs, and I went back into gaming. So how was that transition for you? Yeah.
Oh, so I guess my original YouTube like creation was more just me filming. So it goes back to what I was doing at the time. So at the start it was skateboarding. I got really into skating, like obsessed. Like I get obsessed with shit, like, and I kind of stopped, but got obsessed with skating. And a big part of skating and like skate culture is the video aspect. Like people make whole movies basically with skating, all the different clips. So I was filming on like my little like Vodafone smartphone back in the day, like, and I upload the little clips to YouTube, and I thought, man, this is it, like I'm gonna get famous. But like what we were doing was pure shite because we were like 13. But that was my first kind of introduction, like, oh, video is an art form, kind of. Yeah. If you get me? Because I'd be watching skate videos and I'd be like, man, this angle and the way they edit it and some had animations and the music choice all makes like up what the video and the film looks like. And then the extension of that was I started doing parkour and like free running and tricking. And we did that for years and we were really into it. And a big part of that again is video, because you want to show people what you're doing. So I got a GoPro and I started going around making. That's when I first learned editing. I say I'm probably one of the, well, maybe I don't know if the software has changed, but Windows Movie Maker. I am one of the at the time, I was probably one of the best editors on Windows Movie Maker, because the shit I came up with in my head, because Windows Movie Maker is not made for proper edits. It's literally just like cut and add like fade to black. But the way I was able to kind of manipulate the software, like with different, you go in like just weird stuff that wasn't meant to be done, because I didn't have any other software. I'd do with my parkour edits, and I'd get creative. And that's where I really learned like video. And people in school, I'd upload them to Facebook and YouTube, and people in school were like, oh man, that's cool, like the way you did this, and then like, you know, all the flips and stuff. So I was kind of like, oh, so I did kind of, they weren't vlogs. Oh no, I'll tell you when I started vlogging. Then after that, when we started kind of not doing parkour as much, we would just go out and do like random shit, like hiking and shit like that. And I got into vlogging proper, like not just film and random shit with music, like actually talking to the camera.
Yeah.
And it started off like mad awkward because you never know how to talk to a camera when you start. And I would try vlog it. And then I did that for years and I stopped for a bit. Then I got my DSLR and I was like, okay, this is it. And then this is the revival. I say this is where the YouTube you see from me today comes from. I was watching Irish YouTubers like Thomas Arnold, Cal Arnold,
the boys,
Stellar. Yeah, the main crew.
I'd love to get them on the podcast at some stage because Cal Arnold, there's a few other lads as well who are in that like friend group. I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, there's a few of them. But I'd love to get Cal on the podcast because I feel like he's one of the OG like Irish YouTubers, definitely 100%. Of our generation.
100%. And so this is the maddest story ever. Like it's weird how talk about like faith and destiny and stuff like that. But I binged all of them for a minute, like a good while, and then I realized like I kind of you kind of out of their content, you pick like who's your favorite. And Thomas Arnold, if you know, I guess, and you know like what he's up to and all now, I became obsessed with his videos because he has this guy Thomas Arnold. I don't know if he's going to be listening to this, probably not, but
Thomas,
listen,
top of morning.
Send it to him. But
Thomas, how's it going, you prick? Open up your fucking door, you cunt. Okay, you'll see it.
He is OG grind, man. If you know how many videos this guy has put out, and not just shit videos, quality videos, he's done amazing vlogs, like Irish Casey Neistat.
Yeah,
and he barely was scraping like 500 subs after a few years and shit. Right? People think he's come from like, oh, he just blew up. No. This guy has been grinding for ages, and I watched almost all of his videos, and a lot of them are business orientated because he was doing commerce and UCD, and all the vlogs are based around like him in college and doing his video business, like his videography business, and he was making money. It was about business and like hustle, and then also about content. And I was watching him, and I was like, this guy is like at the time probably like my idol for YouTube, and I was like. And he's on the extension of it was like, this guy's Irish. And he was like 20, whatever, 2 or 23 in these videos. I'm like, man, this guy's doing this. I can do this.
Isn't this so crazy? Like, look at other Irish content creators and be like, look at you, bro. Look at you doing some good shit. It's so inspiring looking at them. And it's like, if you can do it, I can do it, you know?
And then this is the craziest thing. I was watching him for a good week. Like, I'm talking all hours, like watching another one because he has so many videos. I'd be going back anyway. So then it was the middle of summer and I filmed about 3 vlogs of us doing shit during the summer, hiking, because we do lots of hiking. Like me and my friends, we don't like to stay like at home or something. We like to go about and do like loads of mad shit, but we like gaming as well, so respect to the gamers. Like we'd be grinding Warzone anyway. So
what's your KD, bro?
Oh, I can't play anymore. I gave up. I'm too bad. But then so I filmed about 3 vlogs, was doing stuff. I was really getting into the motion of like, okay, man, okay, let's get better at this, you know, better talk to camera, transitions, etc., ideas. So then we went to the 40 foot, and at that day, this is crazy. That day I was filming a video called what Irish people do, or Irish people and the summer.
Yeah. I've seen that. I went back into my research. Man, okay. I went back. I saw you with the Cadbury's bars, and I saw you go back with marshmallows.
And the whip pans.
Yeah, I saw
in that video. Bro. So I was filming that video that day, and I was like, man, this is gonna be the one. I was in the flow, and I was like, man, and my friend was filming for me, and he was actually getting it. And I was like, okay, the lads, you know, they're into this, they like it. Let's go. Then we're at the 40 foot. We're jumping in, doing a few jumps or whatever. I walk around and I like look and I see this lad with a camera and like 2 lads with him. And he's like filming this bit and he's like just looking at the camera, talking and all. And I was like, what is this guy doing? And I looked at him again. I was like, wait, is that? I was like, no, it's not. And I looked again. And then I go to my mate. I go, that's I think he's the Irish YouTuber. And then, and my mate was like, what? Because they don't watch any Irish YouTuber. I was like, Thomas Arnold. Yeah, that's him. And I was like, I don't know if it is, like, because I don't, if you say, oh, are you him? And then it's not, I'm like, no, fuck that.
So
then the guy who was filming for him, with the camera literally turns to me because I was like, not far away from him. He goes, wait, are you asking if that's Thomas Arnold? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, yeah, it is. Jeez. And I was like, this is crazy. So I was like, oh, Thomas, I was like, I watch your videos. And he was like, oh, thanks, man. I was like, no, you inspired me that I'm out here with my camera today, because I only got my camera the week before. And I was like, man, I've been watching all the Irish creators and you're probably my favorite. And he was like, oh man, that's deadly. And I wasn't great on the camera at the time. And he was like, oh, do you want to come up to Bullock, which is like a way, way, way bigger jump. It's a cliff jump. And he was like, do you want to come up with Bullock to us? Because we're going to film some up there, it's a bit cooler. And I was like, wait, really? He was like, yeah, you can come with us.
That's crazy.
Like, no way. And then on the walk there, I was like vlogging a bit, and he was like, no, man, don't do that. Like, talk like this and keep it. And he was giving me loads of tips. And then he started filming for me. And he was like, and I was just, he'd be like, okay, now tell us what you're doing. And I was just standing there, and I was like, well, and he was like, no, walk and talk, because you need motion to keep people interested. And I was like, okay. And all this shit. And I was like, oh, this is insane. And then I did the jump. I filmed the video, whatever. And it was just weird that I was watching all that, and I met him, and then he was saying, and anyway, so then I got talking to Thomas a bit. And anyway, so that was the root of what you see today. And I started filming more videos, and I stopped for a few months, and I started back up again. But the new vision for the channel is like way different from what I was doing then. Because back then I was kind of just going with the flow, like, oh, we're going here, okay, let's film that. Now I'm much more conscious of both video ideas and also messages in my videos and like what I'm promoting. Because beforehand, like, I tried the YouTuber shit. Like I did Domino's versus Apache, which one's better. I did
the Dairy
Milks, all that shit. Yeah. And I thought this was the shit. And then the more I made them videos, I was like, I don't like doing this. This is shit. I was like, this is boring. So not rebranded, but I thought up a new vision for the channel, which is now it's like, it's all going to be about like me, what I'm doing with music.
Yeah. Do you want to explain, do I explain your series, The Journey, for people who haven't watched it?
Oh, banging. Okay. Yeah. So The Journey is like a pretty regular vlog. I was going to make it every week, but I'm not going to make it every week because right now, because we're in lockdown, it's like the same kind of thing.
Yeah. You need substance for vlogs. I feel like you need like a really good, like,
so
one thing every single vlog that's really good,
So I don't want to make it too boring. So I haven't uploaded that in 2 weeks, but it's going to be probably back weekly once like I have more interesting stuff to do. But it's basically a weekly vlog of everything I'm up to. So I'll basically show them my routine and what I'm learning. And it's literally just like I'm working on music, show me working on music, doing fitness. I'll show them my run, what I'm reading, what I'm learning, and what I'm going out with the lads and doing stuff, the plans for the channel. It's kind of an insight into like, it's kind of like a behind the scenes of the production side of the channel, like, and the music. But it's constant, like keeping up. It's not like, oh, I've done this and now I'm going to tell you. It's like, oh no, you're like with me. That's why it's called The Journey. It's like, you're basically beside me. Like, this is what I'm doing. Like, you're going to see what happens.
You're actually so interested. Like your creative drive.
Oh, man.
I know. Did you watch the entire podcast the last day? I know you commented.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
That's mad. So we were actually talking.
Man, when you mentioned me, I was like, oh, this is insane. I was like, I fucking rewind fucking like 20 times. I was like, nah. I was like, this hype me up. Pull up my selector. And I kept replaying it. And then I was like, man, this is amazing. Like, you just made me feel like on top of the world. And then I got to the bit and you were like, man, he has some forehead. And I was like, yo, respect.
That's amazing. I'll never be scared to like call people out. Like, anything that's funny, I will say it. I don't give a fuck.
On the podcast, I was like listening to it, and you're just talking normally and talking about this, and then next thing you just throw in like some random shit. I'm like, yo, man, this guy is out for smoke. Like, he does not care. What were you saying? Who were you calling out?
Lillian.
Out of nowhere. Jaffa Man.
Yeah, Jaffa Man, little fucker.
You were like, yeah. He was like, yeah, I feel like he could be good. I was like, oh, he's gonna give some constructive criticism. Like, but right now his videos are just pure shite. Like, I would not watch them. And I was like, this guy's a legend. He is honest and doesn't care. Because everyone, when they're doing podcasts nowadays, it's like they are not. Everyone is so nice. Everything's positive. Like, there's no negative. Don't criticize anyone. Don't burn any bridges. But you're like, nah, I'm gonna say how it is. Like,
yeah, like I don't know if you know who a Million is, but he was he like had a massive blow up. He's from Ireland as well. We talked about him on the podcast as well, last one, and he actually commented on the podcast. He fucking saw it somehow. But I knew him before he blew up a little bit, and I'm planning to get him on the podcast next month because that would be fantastic. But how to explain this? He was like on my level, he had like a couple thousand subscribers, and then he did this whole phase 5 stuff, and he'd like these montages with Fortnite content, and now he's on like 300k 400k subs, and he commented in the video, and I got that fucking buzz you just said there. Like, this guy's after commenting my video. It's actually that's the buzz, and I fucking love that. It's one of the best feelings. I talked about a couple of podcasts, sorry to keep referring back to podcasts, but I talked about it a few podcasts ago. I get my drive from doing this. This is what I love doing, You can go through as many fucking dark times as you want, but if you find something you're extremely talented at, and I feel like I'm good at this, and it's really fun for me, that's where I get my dopamine release, and that's why I keep doing these podcasts, because I fucking love that. I love the reactions afterwards, reading the comments and stuff. The next question I wanted to ask you was, fuck me, what was it about? The marathon, sorry. I have no script for anything for this video. It's very spurred.
Yeah, that's perfect.
The marathon. You fucking ran a marathon at age 19. Can you just go over that entire body transformation and all that period of your life, please? I'm so interested.
Yeah, 100. Okay, so here, wait. Actually, I'm going to turn on my light. I'm going to see if this helps, because it keeps getting dark.
Run, bro.
Get the maximum. Oh, let's go. And I got, you've probably seen it in the vlog. I got fat lights for this room.
Big fucking
that
bastards.
helps. Yeah. So, so the marathon and the body transformation. So I've always been on and off with fitness, but I was never ever a lad who was like very fit. I was always on the like, don't really care kind of side. Because I never really did care, and then, I go through this in the marathon video, but I'll explain it here. So, I was in PE, and this was TY. No, this was 5th year. Yeah, this is 5th year. I was in PE. We're playing football, and again, I'd never been amazingly fit, but I'd never been like fat or like completely unhealthy. So we were playing football, sprinting up and down the hall. Not even a proper pitch, and then I sprinted about 2 or 3 times, and I was like, "Oh, that hurts!" Like in my chest, and I couldn't breathe. Like proper, I was like, "Oh, what the hell?" So I literally walked off the pitch, walked off the whatever it was, sports hall, and I was sitting on a bench, and my mate was beside me, and I was like, "Oh man, I feel my chest is like imploding, and I can't breathe, like I can't catch my breath." And he was like, "Oh man, you should get like your inhaler." And I was like, "Man, I don't have asthma." And he was like, "Oh," so. Then I was like, wait, just give me a minute. I don't know what's wrong here. This has never happened before. And I was like, oh, and I took a minute, got my breath. And he was like, yeah, man, like you're just unfit. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, you're unfit. And I was like, oh yeah, I kind of am, haven't I? And he was like, yeah, you should try doing some running. Because all the fitness I've done before that was purely like,
sporty.
What's the name for it? No, like station. Oh man, I forget the term for it. But like, I guess like body weight stuff. Like
so you have
no cardio.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say that.
Yeah, so because I found that stuff fun, because it linked in like parkour, freerunning and stuff like calisthenics. So I never done running, and I'd never been good at running, like ever. I was always shit at running. Like I could not run more than maybe like 800 meters when I was younger. I was fast as shit. Like I could run really quick, but if people just kept chasing me, they just catch me because I just go out of breath and stop. So that was always my fitness. My fitness style was just never ever to do with cardio. So he was like, yeah, you should start running. And I always thought running is shit. who does running, like what, who's running around roads, man, like what is that? That's not cool. And then he was like, yeah, you should try it. So my mocks or my pre-mocks or something were coming up, or no, my summer exams were coming up, and I don't like to do any of that. So the week of the summer exam, so we had a whole week. I said, okay, I'm gonna run like 1K at the start of the week, and I'm gonna add a K on like every day. And then, see, so 1K, 2K, 3K, etc. And I just started, I could barely run 1K. I was like, And then I just got up the next day, did a 2K. My legs were hurting. I was like, oh, let's just do this. Because it was really good release from like the exams and stuff. Because I literally come home, do shit in an exam. Know I did shit, like fall asleep during the exam, come home, get into my running gear, put my headphones on. I'm just blasted. So then I went from 1K, 2K, 3K. I got like 3K to 5K or something. And I did 7K to 9K. So I added like 2K on. And then I did 10K at the end of the week. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. I was like, that's insane. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, if I go from 1K to 10K, I was like, well, what about if we go 10K to 20? And I was like, well, then if we do 20, why can't we do 30? And I realized that was way harder than going 1 to 10K. What I did was I did a few 15s. Then one of the days I was out with my mate and we planned to do 5K and we were just running it with my mate because he was running before me and he was way better. I think he's still way better. And I was running with him and I was like, man, what, it'd be crazy if we did like doubled it. Instead of 5 right now, we do 10. And he was like, okay, let's do it then. So then we're in the middle of like 10. I'm like, man, it'd be crazy if we did like 15. And I was like, and he was like, all right, okay. So then we did 15. I was like, man, it'd be insane if we just did up to 20. Like, let's just do it. And he was like, all right, if you're feeling up for it. And I was just listening to my playlist. I was like going crazy. And then eventually I finished the 20, just collapsed. And I was like, that's a half. Well, we did 21. So that was like a half marathon. And I was like, yo. Then I calmed down a bit, 5K, 10Ks. Then we. And the motivation and stuff, because I was like showing like me doing 1K and like doing a few press ups, and people in school. Wait, 1 sec. Wait, is this lagging? Okay, it's back.
Yeah, it was a little bit. It's fine now, though.
Oh yeah, some people in school were like, "Oh man, fitness man," and I was like, all right, fuck you then. Like, I'm just gonna do it. Like, what do you think? I'm gonna give up and you're gonna slag me? I was like, I'm going to do something and I'm gonna do it sick. So then I kept doing it, and people were like, from like taking the piss a bit, we're like, wait a minute, he's like actually running and like doing stuff. And then last year, last year, I think it was in the middle of summer in lockdown, I went crazy again, and that's when I did more calisthenics. And then my mate was like, man, why don't we run the Dublin Marathon? And at the time we thought it would actually go ahead, like the proper one. And I was like, yeah, grand, let's do it. And then obviously it got cancelled and you had to do it kind of on your own. It was in October. Because I was just doing like calisthenics, banged out the marathon, got that shit done. And it was really like kind of a full circle moment of like, I could not run ever in my life. And I just finished a marathon. So I was like, wow.
That's really inspiring, bro. Like that's actually unreal. Because when I started,
thank you.
I literally like with me, like I've always had shit cardio. It's why I can never do football properly because I just had shit cardio. Not because like I was unfit, like you said.
Same.
You just had bad cardio because you just never run, you never do that shit.
Yeah.
So that's really inspiring. When like the start of the last lockdown, I started doing a lot of like gym stuff and all that shit. I found it really difficult to like get the motivation, you know. So that's what we were saying. This me and Simon were saying the last podcast. Like your motivation is unfucking believable. Like it really is. Would you say you're quite a motivated person? Like if you're doing marathons, you have to be like, fuck me.
I guess so, but I don't take it like that, you know. Like there's some people and their whole fucking personality and their whole life is like, man, you gotta wake up. I guess you could say I'm like motivated, but I've never taken it in like I don't know, like a cringy way, I guess you could say. But I've always been in my head, like you always want to do hard stuff and you always want to, you know, I don't know how to describe it. You know, I'd always be into like martial arts and like movies like that and like the Karate Kid and Rocky. And, you know, just, you know, working hard and showing results for it. Like on my desk here is like probably about what, like 30, 40 books or something. all to do with like not self-improvement, that sounds bad, like I don't know, like peak performance and things like that, mindset, like a bit of business and shit like that. So I guess I've always been into it, but I've never made it like my main kind of thing. I take the stuff and I do apply it. You know, there's some people who take motivation and they're like almost motivated to be motivational. Like that's just kind of pointless. Like
So
you need
cringe,
to be motivated
that.
and then yeah, you have to actually do something with it, you know. So I always kind of stuck to myself with it. It's why I could easily make some videos about like, man, you got to grind and the mindset. But like, it's like, that probably is not going to help people. What's going to help people is just doing it, like just showing people. So
Exactly.
that's why I make videos like the marathon, and the marathon video is just me explaining it. I'm not here trying to be like, yo, you got to get up and you got to grind. Like, no. Just do the things. Like, you don't have to be all crazy into it. You just have to do the things that you want to do. Start going.
I love running with music. Just fucking blast that motherfucker up to the max. Run as fucking fast as you can. It's amazing. I have shit cardio, but that never stops me. Okay, I love that shit. Okay, it's fantastic. So yeah, someone was asking me to ask you about the marathon because it's just really, really interesting. Have you ever done any live performances, or is that something you'd like to do? Because you said earlier in the podcast that like auto-tune, but like, would you like do some live performances? I think that would be like right up your alley a little bit.
Well, no, I it's not really the voice now. Yeah, I do live performances, but actually I have done, but they're not like my performances. I did the talent. I think I've done the talent show every year in my school that I was allowed to do it, and I won the first year that I did it because I did beatboxing.
Nice.
Because I used to beatbox loads. Because that's actually a really valuable skill in making music. To talk about.
I think we're gonna wrap it up there, Conor, bro. Last question I have for you, okay, on the podcast. I'm definitely gonna get you on again at some stage, like maybe in a few months' time.
Perfect,
whatever.
man. I can't wait for it. Yeah.
And we'll definitely talk more about Shrek's cock and maybe Fiona's pussy.
Green Willy.
Last question: where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Don't say date.
Mate. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I could be.
Maybe.
Well, let's say I'll probably be. I'm making music, making YouTube videos. Yeah, making money. I don't really know. Doing exercising, going out with the lads and stuff. Pretty much all the same stuff. Just you know, living how I can, you know, making the money that I can from whatever I can.
Where do you see your music? Where do you see your music career going in the next 5 years?
Well, I don't really know. Like it's gonna be something, you know, it's gonna be something that I can sustain, but I can't tell you if it's gonna be, you know, like something massive, or if it's, you know, gonna be a small fan base, but people really mess with it, you know, and they really like the stuff and they want to follow me. Because nowadays, you know, you don't have to be mad famous. You don't have to be a superstar to make enough from music. There's lots of people with smaller followings that you would never even have heard of, and they have like a good few thousand fans. But them fans, you know, they do everything for them, and they let them have a career. So whether it's one or the other, I don't mind. You know,
yeah,
it's not about any of that for me. It's just about being able to do it by any means necessary.
I respect that, bro. I respect that. That's where I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you very much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
You can check out Conor in the description. I'll leave a link to Spotify and to his YouTube if you want to go check it out.
Grand,
and maybe I'll leave your Twitter down there as well. You know, we'll be fucking generous today. It's fucking
the Twitter's a bit mad. The Twitter's madness.
Yeah.
You see what I be tweeting, man.
Yeah, I'll wrap it up there, bro. Cheers for coming on. I'll talk to you soon, hopefully. We'll get some. Yeah, I think we can definitely use some sort of collab video down the line. So, like, not like off the podcast, you know, definitely something.
100%. Yeah.
So, bro, I'll talk to you later. Cheers for coming on.
Grand. I'll see you.
Good looking. God bless, man. Cheers, bro. Well, for you lads, hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers for watching. Schlongefol.